All right, fam, let's dive right into it. Welcome to another edition of Webinar Wednesday. Hope you guys had a good last 2 weeks. Welcome to the month of March. It is March 1st, 2023, and it's great to be with everyone here today. If this is your first time joining, welcome. I am Jason there on the left, and we're lucky to be joined by David Rockland, the digital strategist, and so much more here at Brilliant Directories. David, thanks for joining the webinar today.
Hey everybody, glad to be back with you for another webinar. Hope you all are doing excellent. We've got a very good tip of the week coming up that I'm very much looking forward to.
Yep, and there's also an update to accompany that tip of the week. We are streaming on YouTube Live today. We definitely recommend subscribing to our YouTube channel. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube, and by subscribing, you'll get alerted as soon as we upload new videos, tips of the week, and more. The good news about using YouTube Live is in the Facebook group, we can immediately post a replay video of the webinar. So we also encourage you to join the Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook. The Facebook group is now busier than ever. There are so many constructive discussions in there. People are building their membership and community websites, and we can see a lot of progress and traction taking place, as well as fellow community members helping each other, providing tips and strategies from their own experiences. So we definitely invite everyone to join. I believe we just surpassed 10,000 members in that Facebook group. So it's definitely hustling and definitely bustling, and we look forward to seeing you guys there. And for the new names and faces joining the webinar, welcome. Just a little bit about Webinar Wednesday. You know, we're always releasing new features and fixes and patches into the platform week after week. And Webinar Wednesday is really a great opportunity for us to share some of the newer features and updates that can help you grow your community a bit faster, more efficiently, to increase more revenue and things like that. So we cover topics like the ones listed here: how to increase traffic, converting visitors to members, improving the website navigation. That's one of my favorites. And basically to help you run and operate your site more efficiently and to help you grow a bit quicker. So if you have questions on any of these topics or anything else related to your membership website or BD website, please save them. We will try to get to as many questions as we can today. All right, and as David mentioned, we do have an exciting tip of the week today, but before that, just a few BD Lab updates to share with you. I'll start very quickly here at the top of the list. I recommend, especially if your site is simply an English site or Spanish, English or Spanish website, to enable this new security setting. What it does is it adds additional protection against known spam characters. And let me show you where this new setting is in the admin area. Let me start here just in the dashboard. Okay, so if we go to settings and general settings, and under the integrations tab, we have a set of keywords to block. So if people are trying to fill out your contact us form or sign up to your website, and it includes any of this comma separated list of keywords, you can edit this or add to this. It will not let the form submit. It will block it, and it won't let the visitor know why it's being blocked. In addition to that, I would recommend everyone whose site is at least English to click this one too, block spoof characters. Oftentimes what we've found, there are these characters that seemingly look like Latin characters, like English language characters, but they are in fact not. They are other types of characters. They're called homoglyphs. However, it is pretty often that spammers will use these to replace regular Latin keywords to submit their spam submissions. So I'd say it's safe to say, especially if your site is in English, to check this. The reason I say if your site is just in English is these are valid characters in other languages, like in Greek. So if your site is in Greek, I can't think of any other languages, but there are other languages that these are in fact valid characters. Russian is another example. But if you're an English site, 99% if a form is being submitted with one of these deceiving characters, it's probably trying to submit spam to your site and an annoying inquiry. So I would recommend checking this. And of course, you can edit this list, add to it, remove things from here if you want as well. All right, this next one is related to speed. Nothing really to show here. We're working on making the admin area faster, and we've pushed our first 2 phases of this. And in the next couple weeks, probably in the next webinar, we'll be able to show a pretty lightning fast admin area to help you work a little more quickly and efficiently inside the back end when you're working on your site. All right, this next one here is related to segmenting. We've covered this in previous webinars, the ability to require members to have complete profiles before they can be found in the search results. Based on suggestions in the Facebook group, we actually added another setting to this, and I'll show you exactly what that does. It's also in the general settings here under search settings. For member search results, we have this option here, this setting here, require complete profiles. And before this update, there were just 2 options, no and require complete profiles to display the member in the search results. And you can define what it means to have a complete profile, a first name, a last name, a company name, any other individual pieces of data that you need to qualify them as a complete profile. And when it's like this, they won't, if they don't meet all the criteria, they won't show in the search results. Well, there's cases where you still want them to show in the search results, but an admin wants to still be able to identify incomplete versus complete profiles. So here, if you still want to show everyone in the search results, but you yourself as the website owner just want to have a pulse on who and who does not have a complete profile, you're going to want to choose this third option here. Allow searching for complete profiles from within the admin only. I'll go ahead and I'll check that and hit Save Changes. So now members who may not have all the required fields completed will still show in the search results, but what I can do as the admin is I can go to Search Members and I can personally identify who has a complete or incomplete profile. We can search incomplete profile here and we'll do a search. This site is just a demo site with some 99 members. There's 36 members here who have incomplete profiles. And what we can do is create a smart list. We'll just call this incomplete profiles. And with this segmented smart list, we can then send emails notifying these individuals to come back to the site, complete the profiles, maybe educate them on what the required, the profiles we want them to complete are, and so on. But this is just for the admin's information. We don't restrict them from the public search results with that third setting there. So that should provide some convenience to a lot of users trying to identify incomplete profiles without punishing them visibility-wise on the front end of the site. I'll go ahead and save that smart list. We'll use that later. Okay, this was also a suggestion. Shout out to Johnny York in the Facebook group. The ability to sort members in the search results based on who has the most likes versus the least likes. So this is related to the add-on, the bookmark counter add-on. Let me show you that. So it's an extension of this add-on. Let's go there first. And I'll just search for counter. So what this does is it'll show the actual count when a member or a post has received a like or thumbs up or whatever you're calling it on your website. And with this new setting is you can now sort members based on who has the most or least likes or bookmarks. So let me show you a quick example of where that is. If we do a search here, this is just an open search on that test site. So we see there are some members here. And we can see that some of them have some likes, 6, 5, 7, 4. And what we have now under the sort results, we have most likes and least likes. So let's go ahead and sort by most likes. And we can see here 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, etc. And we can do the same thing with the least likes. Now to get this, these two sort options to display here, we want to make sure in our design settings when we have this add-on, the bookmark counter add-on, that it is enabled, that we've enabled the counter. So in the design settings, we could do a search for counter, I think, yep. And we see enable bookmark counter. We want that to be yes. And when this is showing the bookmark counter, the numbers next to the like button, you'll have those sort options here. Also important to note, these are text labels, these two texts here. So if you want to change it to match whatever maybe you're not calling it likes on your site, sort by most saves, sort by most bookmarks, whatever you want these two to say, these are text labels, and you can change the text here. Also, another suggestion from the Facebook group, when you're editing your menus in the menu manager, there were times where people wanted to toggle some of their main menu items on or off. Now, instead of deleting the menu item, there's a simple hide checkbox there, and you can hide individual menu items. This one's pretty self-explanatory. I'll show you a quick example of how it works. This would be in the toolbox menu manager. And we'll just do the main menu in this example, but it applies to any menu in the menu manager. And here we have our main menu, home, member, directory, how it works. And here we have a new checkbox called hide item. And I'll go ahead and just check that, and we can see it turns it like a pink-red color. And I'll save the changes. And here we can see it's the how it works button. I'll just refresh the page here. And we can see it's no longer there. So this is good if you have seasonal promotions or things you add temporarily to the main menu, depending on the type of season or what you're focusing on, and you don't necessarily want to remove it entirely. You can now hide it here. And let's bring it right back. What's cool also, just a quick note, if we nest these under, so they're a drop down, let's save it as a drop down real quick. Just refresh this, there should just be 3 here, and this has a drop down of 2. If you hide the parent, it will automatically hide the nested menu items as well, the child menu items as well too. All in all, for the month of February, we had over 100 updates, fixes, and feature releases up. That says January there, that should say February. And majority of them are from your support inquiries and your suggestions in the Facebook group. So thank you very much. Some items coming soon, we mentioned these before. You'll be able to set the time of day you want your scheduled and recurring payments to be processed. So if something is due tomorrow, do you want it to be captured at 12:01 a.m. or do you want it to be captured in the middle of the afternoon? You'll have better control over that. And this mainly is a benefit for our friends overseas in Australia and New Zealand. Currently, their recurring payments are being collected towards the end of the day, but that's what we're fixing, and it'll be collected at a more appropriate time for their time zone. In the search subscriptions page, we're going to be introducing bulk actions, so you can bulk cancel subscriptions, change the next bill date and amount. So that should provide a lot of help, especially when you're trying to update the subscription of many members at the same time. And also, this one we've got a little bit on the back burner, but it's coming soon. Image support when importing posts. This is brand new, the ability to import events, jobs, and articles. You can do so via CSV file right now. And what we're working on is the image support, so you can also import images with those posts, not just titles and the body of the content. And then later, we're going to piggyback off this and introduce it to Zapier so you can automate importing those types of posts, events, real estate listings, and so forth. All in all, tons more updates coming soon, speed, security, quality of life features. We're busy little bees here at Brilliant Directories, and we always appreciate your guys' feedback and suggestions. So thank you. Before we move on to the tip of the week, if you want to use the raise your hand feature and ask any questions about these new features, anything coming soon, or just make a comment if something catches your eye that you're excited to see coming down the line soon. All right, we have Colette here. It looks like you're self-muted, Colette.
Sorry. Hi, Jason. How are you?
How do you do? Good, good, good. Thank you.
Good. I'm just being lazy here, but how do you define what an incomplete profile is?
So you can choose as the website owner. This is a very good question, actually. Let me help you. If you go to General Settings and under Search Settings, what you can do, by default, a complete profile would have to have a name, a top-level category, a profile photo, and an address entered. However, you can change this. You can view the settings. There's a button here. And what you can do is you can create a comma-separated list of the fields that you want to be the member to fill out in order for them to be quote unquote complete. So you can add more things to this. If you want it to be their last name, their company name, whatever the fields are that you're capturing when they're filling out their profile, you can put the values here. Does that make
Perfect.
sense?
Thanks very much.
Okay,
Yep.
great. So with that said, you can add as much or as little as you want to make a profile complete or incomplete, for the required fields to be complete or incomplete. All right, with that, we'll move on over to the tip of the week. And this is a pretty exciting one, and I think it's something every membership or directory website owner can take actionable steps on. It's how to re-engage our inactive members. And David, if it's all right, I'll pass it over to you. We can go over this tip of the week and identify what are inactive members and some steps we can take to mitigate and bring them back and re-engage them to the site.
Yeah, we've talked about churn rate in a couple previous webinars. That's really just the number of cancellations that we have. But we haven't gone into too much detail about how we can really try to get ahead of the curve and prevent inactive members from eventually canceling. So that's what we'll be going over here in this webinar. First, if we just go over the basics, this is probably pretty self-explanatory here. But the cost of losing active members, obviously we would lose out on potential revenue if we're going to be charging them subscription fees, upselling them for maybe purchasing leads, paying to publish posts, or if we're selling any other products and services to our members. It would also lead to reduced engagement and activity on our website throughout our community as a whole. Overall, it would lead to an increased churn rate. Like I mentioned, that's just basically the number of cancellations we have. And it would ultimately be costly to acquire new members just to replace the members that we've lost, let alone try to continue to grow. So we really want to try to get ahead of the curve here. If we can identify any inactive members, there's a good chance that they'll probably end up canceling at some point in the future. So if we can identify them ahead of time and proactively reach out and try to bring them back in and reactivate them, that's the goal here with this tip of the week.
Yeah, I think I've read or I heard somewhere the cost to acquire a new member is 10 times more than the cost of trying to keep a current member on board or something like that. But it's definitely worth our time to keep our members active and engaged in our site. We should always be looking for new members, but it's more affordable to try to keep our existing members than seeking out newer members. The customer acquisition cost is higher for new members than trying to retain existing members. So always keep that in mind.
Absolutely. So a few strategies to try to re-engage those inactive members. First, we need to be able to identify who the members are that are inactive. There's a bunch of different ways to do this with various tools, but specifically within your BD website admin area, there's two really easy ways. When we're searching through our members, we can search based on profile completion as well as the member's last login date. So, we could do a search to see which members haven't logged in within the last 30 days or 60 days. And those might be members that we would want to proactively reach out to try to bring them back in. We can do that by sending out some re-engagement emails. We have a slide and a couple examples also for these types of emails, what to include, but essentially they would just be personalized emails, probably with some sort of incentive to try to bring that member kind of back into our website and to our community. But I think an important point with this is still making them personalized. We can use a template. We can send pretty much the same thing to all of these members, but something as simple as including a variable like for their name. So we're addressing them by their first name. And then maybe also if we've identified all of the members who haven't logged in since, say, January, we can say, hey, we noticed the last time you logged in was January, or we haven't seen you since January. That, even though it seems something simple to us, to the member reading it, it might make the email seem more personal. Like I mentioned, we can incentivize members. This really depends on your community, your services, and what you're offering to your members. But some basic things that we can offer to members to try to incentivize them to come back to our website, offering promotions or discounts, even offering credits. If you have the member credits add-on, we can provide them with, maybe 10, 20, 50 free dollars in credits that they could apply to their membership fees, purchasing leads, paying to publish posts, anything like that. And then the last thing, we can either ask these inactive members for feedback, why they haven't revisited the website, why they're kind of drifting away, or if we've already heard from our members about certain features or improvements that they'd like to see either with the website itself or our offering in general, maybe they'd like us to provide them with some other sort of service. We can try to do our best to implement these updates and improvements, because if we know some of our members are asking for this stuff, then some of our new members would most likely benefit as well. So if we can implement some of these things, that could hopefully help us in preventing members from becoming inactive and ultimately canceling.
And let's take a quick look. These are great points here. Let's take a quick look at this top one here and creating a segmented list of inactive members. Let's take a look at how to do that with last login. So if we go to the admin area here, I'll start from the dashboard real quick, and then we'll go to the search members page. And from here, we can create a smart list of members that say have their last login date was like a month in the past or further. So right now it's March 1st, 2023. Let's say we want to find all the members who haven't logged in. Their last login was basically all of last year, 2022. So from January 1st all the way to December 31st. So their last login was basically at the turn of the new year. Let's search for these members. Again, this is a demo site. I don't exactly know out of these 99 members who would fall under this. But we have 44. So we have 44 members whose last login, here we can see here, their last login was December 4th, 2022. So it's more than 60 days that this person hasn't logged in. This person hasn't logged in since April 12th, 2022. So we could safely say these are inactive members. So what we would do is we'd create that last login date search. We do that search, and from list actions, we can create a smart list, and we'll call it no login, or last login was in 2022. Just some nickname that we can, and we'll call these inactive members. So we create that smart list, and then we can export that smart list. We can send newsletters to that smart list. We'll cover that a bit more, but that's how we can identify them. So we can do a search here, and then of course the complete versus incomplete profiles as well. We can simply create an incomplete profile search and then create a smart list from that as well.
Awesome stuff. And so, like I mentioned, some best practices for these re-engagement emails that we can send out to these inactive members. First things first, the subject line, the first thing any of us see when we receive a new email, we want to make sure it grabs their attention, sparks some interest, some curiosity, evokes some sort of emotion. We all get spam emails. Most of us, I know myself, typically just delete them as soon as I see it without even opening it. But occasionally, I'll get some sort of automated email or newsletter with either a unique subject line, or it makes me smile. I think it's, maybe comes out of left field, a little goofy, whatever it may be. It'll at least entice me to open it up and at least see what's in there. So it doesn't have to be anything too unique or robust or take too much, put too much thought into it. We just want to pique their curiosity and evoke some sort of emotion instead of just being super dry and bland. The other thing, like I mentioned, personalizing email content, super easy way to do that is just by including a variable in the email template to include the member's first name. And again, any other relevant information that we can include while still, making our lives pretty easy and not having to manually craft each and every one of these emails. But another simple one would be, if we're going to be reaching out to all members who last logged in, say in December, then we can mention, hey, notice that the last time you logged in was December. That makes the email seem a little bit more personal and less generic. We also want to create a sense of urgency in these emails with clear calls to action and deadlines. So if we're going to be incentivizing them with some sort of offer or promotion, free credits, whatever it might be, we want to give them some sort of deadline. So we could say, email us back and log in within, by the end of the week to take advantage of the special offer. Even if they don't, get back to us within that week, maybe it's 2 or 3 weeks from now. Our goal isn't necessarily to make money from them right now. It's to prevent them from eventually canceling. So even if they miss that deadline, we should probably still offer whatever incentive it was that we were providing them with to try to hook them back in and get them to stay and maintain their membership. The last thing here, providing valuable content. We talk about this in pretty much every webinar, whether it's publishing content on the website or even in these re-engagement emails that we're going to be sending out to our inactive members. We want to offer them something that's relevant and beneficial. If our website is focused on a particular industry or niche, we probably have a decent idea of who our members are, what they're looking for, what they want to get out of their membership on our website. And so if we can provide them with a little nugget of that in just this really short, simple re-engagement email, that could go a long way in piquing their interest. Again, something as simple as telling them, hey, see what you missed in the last month, and link out to a relevant podcast or video or article that was published on our website, anything like that. And again, we have a few examples of these emails coming up.
Yeah, creating that FOMO with that valuable content that they're missing out on something, or they're not getting access to something that they easily can just click and get access to. We do have examples of some emails, but full disclosure, we did use ChatGPT for them. And what I wanted to do live on the webinar, if you guys want to use the raise your hand feature, we can go to ChatGPT right now and we can ask it to create some re-engagement emails for us live here on the webinar. All right, we see a good few hands up here. Okay, great. We can see, yeah, I see your hand up there, Colette. All right, and John, I see your hand up too. So let's go to ChatGPT here, and we'll start a new one. Always fun to play with. Looks like it wants me to log in here. Oh, there we go, we're logged in. So what we could do, this thing is amazing, and it's just gonna, I think it's a great way to get content creation ideas and things like that. So create an email to re-engage members of a membership website who have not logged in within 30 days. Make it funny, short, and provide a $50 credit incentive if they log in within the next 48 hours. Let's just see what it does with that. Okay. Where have you been? We miss you. And your funny cat memes. Okay. Dear member, we've noticed that you've been MIA from our membership website for the past 30 days. We hope you haven't been abducted by aliens or lost in a corn maze. We miss you and your hilarious cat memes, and we want you back. To sweeten the deal, we're offering a $50 credit incentive if you log in within the next 48 hours. Yes, you read that right. We'll give you 50 big ones just for gracing us with your presence again. So what do you say? Will you be our Valentine and come back to us? We promise we'll treat you right. With fresh content, engaging community, and of course, more cat memes. Click here to log in. There's the call to action there. Hurry, this offer won't last forever. We can say regenerate the response again. We'll do one more and then we'll move on to the rest of the tip of the week. We miss you and we have $50 with your name on it. Dear member, we hope this email finds you well and that you've been keeping busy with all the other amazing things life has to offer. But we have to admit, we've been feeling a bit lonely without you on our website. It's been 30 days since your last login and we miss your witty comments, insightful posts, and overall awesomeness, etc., etc. These could be even shorter. What's cool about this is you can say, write the same thing, but much, much shorter. And then, of course, you can modify this to actually match what your website is offering. There we go, much shorter. We miss you. Come back to our website within 48 hours and get $50 credit. Don't miss out. So that's as short as it can get, 2 lines there. So lots of fun with ChatGPT. And then one thing from this post, this slide that I wanted to mention, the personalizing the emails. I wanted to show you guys, if we go back into the admin area, and if we go to email templates, when you want to create a template or a newsletter or something to go out to members, when you're on this page, if we scroll down just a little bit, we do have these variables here. The first name, let me zoom in just a little bit. The user's first name, last name, full name, their company name, their phone number, and a wide variety of other variables that you can put into the template. So if you're not familiar with this, you can copy these and then you can say like, hi, first name. And then it would obviously fill in the first name with whatever the member's first name is in the database. So this is how we can create those personalized emails inside of the BD admin area here. You can mention their company, their location, maybe their top level category, and other pieces of relevant information that you can sprinkle into some of these emails here to come back to the website. I'll pass it back over to you, David.
That was great. Love seeing ChatGPT in action. I didn't realize how obsessed it is with cat memes, but those were great. So some incentivization tactics that we can use to bring those inactive members back to our website. Credits, discounts, free trials, those are probably the simplest, most obvious incentives that we can offer to these inactive members to try to bring them back, basically providing them with some sort of monetary savings for their membership within our community or any other upsells or products or services that we may be offering them. Can also provide them access to exclusive content or resources. Could also kind of think about this one a little bit out of the box. Maybe you're offering all of your members exclusive content. It's not necessarily only for the premium members or a certain type of member. We can still reiterate that the only way to access this content is by being a member, and you're a member, and we'd love to see you back on the website. And since you've been gone, this is the video that got the most views that you missed out on. This was our most recent podcast, whatever it may be that we think can pique their interest and bring them back. Can also extend invitations to members-only events or webinars. If we have a pretty tight-knit community, maybe a local one, maybe we want to do an in-person, face-to-face event. Or another simple way would just be doing an online webinar or get together, kind of like what we're doing here, both on GoToWebinar and on YouTube. So a couple different ways we could go about doing that. And then also can also provide them with some rewards for completing certain actions. Maybe we want to start up, really simple, basic affiliate program and say, hey, get rewarded for referring your friends and family. So when any of their referrals sign up and become a member, whether it's free or paid, however we want to structure it, they get some sort of reward. We can also give them something for completing their basic profile information, maybe $10 in free credits for, whatever they want to spend that on once they complete their profile. Or maybe also providing them with a month of free membership or a free ebook download for publishing their first post. There's a bunch of different ways we can go about it. It really depends on our community, what they're finding of value and what we're providing to them. But these are some basic kind of generic incentives that we can provide to members to try to reel them back in. Finish off here, going over the benefits of re-engaging inactive members. I think this is all pretty obvious to most of us at this point, but if we can re-engage our inactive members again, get ahead of the curve and try to reactivate those inactive members before they ultimately end up canceling, it'll end up leading to increased engagement and activity on the website the more members that we have. That'll lead to an increase in revenue if we're going to be charging them subscription fees, or again, having some sort of upsells, whether it's charging for them to receive leads or publish posts, or if we're selling ebook downloads or any other sort of services. Re-engaging those inactive members will also lead to a lower churn rate, essentially improved member retention, lowering that cancellation rate essentially. It'll be also easier to acquire new members if we're able to reactivate our inactive members. As our community as a whole grows, it'll be easier to attract new members. We just kind of got to get the ball rolling, get that snowball made initially, and then give it a little push down the hill, gain some momentum. And as we gain that momentum, it'll be easier and easier to continue to grow our community and attract new members. And so overall, it'll have a positive impact on our community and network as a whole. The thing here is, again, trying to get ahead of the curve and identify our inactive members and prevent them from becoming canceled essentially at the end of it, and try to bring them back into our community, because at the end of the day, it's a lot more expensive to try to bring in new members than it is to save our inactive ones.
Yeah, really, when we're operating a website with members, we have two marketing campaigns happening simultaneously. One is to attract new members. We always want those campaigns and engines working. And then it's the retention ones, keeping existing members engaged, active. And I think that one is one that a lot of people don't focus on as much as the newer members. But after a certain tipping point, your existing members probably become more valuable than rapidly growing with newer members once you reach a certain size of your community. So keep that in mind. And as you're planning your membership business or community website, directory website, keep in mind that you should have two different channels of marketing. One is to appeal to your existing members, and one for new members and prospects that you're trying to attract. And then with that, we did do some sample emails here, and we're going to, after this replay, when we put this in the BD blog, we'll put copies of these emails here, but these are just more example emails that you can send to re-engage members who have been inactive. I'll quickly read these ones. It says, "Hi, member name. I noticed that's been a while since you last logged into our community. We hope everything is going well. Just wanted to remind you that we're here for you." It's good to create an emotional connection here. You can say, "We miss you. We're here for you." It doesn't have to be so robotic. So putting some emotion into these emails will go a long way. So it says, "We're here for you and have some great benefits you can take advantage of. Here are some things that you might have missed out on." So this is a FOMO, fear of missing out email. Some of the lists of benefits or features that are relevant to the member. Mention updates or new features that have been added to the website since their last visit, or even spotlight another member who is potentially a competitor or in the same space or a fellow colleague. And when they see someone being spotlighted or a business being spotlighted, it's going to make them think that they want to be spotlighted, and that could bring them back to the site as well. You're truly a valuable part of our community and hope you'll come back to join us soon. Log back in today and let's catch up. So nice, simple email here. David, I'll let you take over this one here.
A little more unique with the subject line. Was it something we said? Again, trying to pique their interest a little bit. So, "Hi, member name. It's been a while since we've seen you around our community. I wanted to check in and see how you're doing." Another thing to point out here is in some parts, we are saying we this and we that, but in others, we're saying I wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Again, helps make it a little bit more personal, like we're having a one-on-one conversation. We've made some updates and changes recently that we think you'll love, including you can list some new features or improvements that you've made to your website or your community, and also mention some relevant incentives or discounts that we think would help the member come back to our website. Our members mean everything to us, so I hope you'll log back in soon and see what we've been up to. We're here to support you and help you grow your business in any way we can. Best, and then our name. In this case, the email would have been directed to probably professional members in business directory or something like that, when we mention we're here to help you grow your business in any way we can.
And then lastly, just a small variation on this. So we want you back. Here's what you've missed. So, "Hi, John. Hope this email finds you well. It's been a while since you last logged into," and then you can mention the website name, "and we've been thinking about you. I wanted to remind you about some of the amazing benefits you've been missing out on, such as," and again, key features, mention testimonials or success stories from other members. There we go. So spotlighting other members as social proof. "We know life gets busy, but we don't want you to miss out on any of the opportunities that our website offers. Log back in today and see what you've been missing." So we'll share these email templates after the webinar when we post this in the blog, but ChatGPT, super fun to play around with, and you can give it really quirky instructions, and the outputs are pretty hilarious and cheeky. So we hope you enjoyed that tip of the week. What we can do now is take some Q&A. Feel free to raise your hand. I see some hands firing up. Questions, comments, we'll try to get to as many as we can too. We have a good amount of time here. And we'll start with the top guy. I saw your hand up. Go first. Rich. Rich, how you doing today?
Great, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, pretty good. How'd you like that tip of the week today?
Yeah, actually, there's some great content here as always, and I have kind of 3 rapid fire questions. One on the incomplete profile section. We've been using that. It's an awesome feature. But can we select, the about me? I tried to put it in there, and it actually removed like all of our members, but fix it. But in other words, if they don't complete the about section, how do we make that so that it's not they're not listed in the directory?
Yes.
Or is that an option?
Yeah, it should be an option. We just need to put, and if it's not working correctly, you may want to email the support team, but we just want to put the correct variable for the about me. So
yeah.
What are you using right now on your site for that?
Honestly, I'm not sure. It's just like, because it's not a like a form or a I don't know if you want to go to our site and see it, but
let me check it out real quick here. One second. Let me see if I can find the value for you. I think it's this one here. Let me just quickly customize this.
Because it's not a specific field like, address field or.
Yeah, I think it is this, the about underscore.
Oh, underline.
About
underscore.
Yeah, let me put that in the chat here. This should be it. So yeah, you just want to put the system variable name for what it is. So in this case, it would be about underscore me. Give that a try.
Okay, so about underscore me. I'm going to do it in real time real quick.
Okay.
And see, but while I'm loading and refreshing that, the other 2 quick questions were, I like the idea of the whole idea of the smart list for incomplete or inactive or incomplete members. And you illustrated setting that as like an email, but can we email that entire group, or would that have to go out as a newsletter? Like using the email template, we've always just done it for individuals, but.
Yeah, so you can send it out as a newsletter and send it out to 1,000 members at a time if you wanted to. So you would just create the template and use those variables like first name, with the short code for the members' variable names like first name, company name, things like that, and then you can blast it out to a bunch of people at the same time.
To that smart list.
Correct. Let me show you real quick.
Okay.
So when you're going to schedule a newsletter. Let's just go here real quick and then click new email newsletter. So over here we see the smart list to include. So I think we created a couple incomplete profiles. You would just check the smart list you want to send the emails to.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks, man. Appreciate it. But yeah, I love the updates and I love the idea of, especially the, I know some people have been using it. We haven't, that chat GPT, but what you typed in was really clever. And I think the humor in there was, I think, would really get people's attention and make it stand out.
You can ask it to be like, make it funnier or less funny, make it cheeky. You could say like add a pirate joke or, something really silly in there, and it'll figure it out and it'll do it. So again, it's really good for stimulating content ideas and just, I don't think they're ever going to get rid of it. Like they're talking about it with schools and stuff. I think it's going to be like you use it along with create your own creative content that you're doing. It's going to be a mix. Yeah,
because we have 4 high school interns, and I can see them using it for our business to help. They're on our team, but then they could use it. Like we didn't have these widgets when we were kids, in school, to kind of write your own content without because before you'd have to copy or copyright issue of like just copying and pasting from something. But that's really, really clever, and I like the updates.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Cool. Thanks again.
Sure thing. All right, good friend Rich there. All right, we got our friend Terry here. How you doing, Terry? Looks like you're self-muted.
Hi, Jason. How are you, mate?
Excellent. How are you?
Real well. Just a quick question about the referral system. I think I know the answer to this. It's probably no. However, I just thought I'd ask the question. Now, for example, if member A refers member B to get a credit or reward of some sort, and then member B refers member C, is there a way of me being able to track that so that I can reward the original member A because member B that they referred actually found another member as well? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it's called a second tier bounty in an affiliate program.
Yeah.
I am trying. Let me check one thing real quick. I do believe. I just want to check something real quick here. If we look at this person here, I know you can search the first one if who has been referred by an individual member. Let me look into it. I haven't heard that one before yet within the BD platform, but I know there is a way to track the first level, and then from there you can decide to like look one level deeper yourself if you wanted to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but that would be a manual process, yeah?
Right now for the second tier it would be a manual process, but you can see here, you can do a first level referral here. Let me show you. So first it would show here if it was a member was referred by someone else, you would see it in this little area here. And then here where it says choose sales rep, if people are signing up based on referrals, the people that were the referrers will show in this drop down list here. So you'll be able to quickly choose who the sales rep or referrer was very quickly and see all the members that they signed up very quickly. So then you can continue going down that rabbit hole there with that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you, Jason.
All right. And thank you, guys. Shout out to Terry. He's one of the all-stars in the Facebook group. He's one of the group experts we've noted there. So, Terry, thank you for all your contributions to the Facebook group. All right. We got our good friend, Brian. I see your hand is up. How you doing, Brian?
Pretty good, and you?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Thank you.
I had a question about email newsletters. So you know how you send out a newsletter and then after that the campaign says total sent number, bounce number, deferred number, delivered number, etc., etc. Is there a way to see like what emails were not valid or what dropped or whatever, so we can remove those for our previous lists? Or
I love that you asked.
So we don't be sending.
I love that you asked that question. In an upcoming release, you will be able to click and see what those email addresses are, and in addition to that, you'll be able to create another smart list based on their who opened an email, who clicked on the email, who didn't open an email yet. So you can then remarket to people based on the email newsletter stats as well.
Sweet. And I just had another quick question as well. It's for reviews. Is there a way that we can force the member to log in before they make a review?
Yes, there is. That's a good question. Let's do that together now. If we go to the front end of the website, just give me a moment. Okay, and let's go to someone who has a review real quick. We'll go write a review for them, but we'll make it so you have to log in first. So let's look at this person's profile and write a review. Okay, great. So this is public right now. Let me actually log out as this member that I'm logged in as. And if we come back here, so this person, let's close down some of these. Okay, so this is the Lisa Jones member, recommended member. Let's edit this membership plan. So we're editing the membership plan. And I think if we go to profile page, let me just see where this was here. Search visibility. There we go. Under search visibility, when you're editing the plan, members only access, you can make the write a review page members only access. So you want to protect that. So you have to be logged in. Same thing with their contact page or their profile page as well for this membership plan. So let's go ahead and save those changes. And if we refresh this page here, it says this content is for members only. Click to log in and we get the login pop-up or become a member.
Cool. Thanks so much, man.
You're welcome. Thanks for your questions.
And one quick comment on Brian's first question about seeing which email addresses newsletters weren't delivered to. Even though currently we can't see that info in the admin area, Matt, co-founder and CTO here, he said that that info is available if you want to dive into the database. It's available within email auto log is where you can find that info for now.
The email auto log table in the database. Okay, good to know.
Correct.
Thank you. All right, let's see who else's hands we have up here. All right, we got Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
Hi there, how are you?
Pretty good. Where are you calling in from, Kevin?
From Los Angeles area.
I'm right here with you. All right. You saw the snow
Yeah.
today for a minute?
Beautiful snow, love it. Love the rain, really enjoyed it.
All right, what's your question for us
I have
today?
a question first in regard to re-engaging with members. Is there a way to get alerts for members whose credit cards are about to expire, and also to perhaps do a smart list of recently expired credit cards?
I don't think we have an alert based on credit card expiration date. You can get an alert when somebody falls past due, meaning their scheduled payment wasn't able to be processed. Do you know how to do that at least right now?
I do not. I'm just, I haven't launched my site yet. It's still in the beginning process.
No worries. This is one of my favorite add-ons. It's the billing reminder emails. And this one is really cool because what it does is, and you can modify the emails, but you can send emails when a new payment is received and to notify you as well. Upcoming payment reminders, if you want to notify your members a week or a couple weeks in advance that you're about to bill them for their scheduled payment. And then this is the best part is you can send up to 3 past due reminder emails. So the first one can be like hey, it looks like it wasn't able to be processed, please log in. The second one could be a little bit more urgent. And the third one could be a final notice that their account will be permanently closed. And you can schedule them however many days apart that you want. And you as the website owner can get an alert on each one of those as well, in addition to the member. Yeah, so we don't have like your credit card's about to expire alert, but we do have the past due, which covers any instance that a credit card failed to be processed on the site.
Okay. I do see on here it says website admin can choose to receive a daily summary report email of all collected, upcoming, and past due member payments. So, okay, so that's a setting that we can do on that add-on as well.
Exactly, and that's really helpful. I like it because the summary also aggregates the totals, so you can see how much was collected that day or how much is pending that is past due for you to collect on, and that's a real motivator for the website admin to take proactive steps. The emails are helpful, but sometimes you can also call your members if you're that type of website, saying, hey, Mr. Johnson, it looks like we don't want to cancel your account. We see you're very active. Can we get an updated credit card on file for you? So it just depends how hands-on you are with your members, how high touch you are.
Okay, thank you very much.
I'm going to put a link to this for you, Kevin, in the chat, or for everyone. So there's a link to this billing reminders email page here. Okay, thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
And feel free to reach out to us or the support team or the Facebook group if you need help setting up your site for the first time. All right, let's see, we got a couple more hands up here. Let me go slowly and see who I missed. We got Colette here again. Hey, Colette.
Hey, Jason, how are you doing?
Pretty good, thank you.
I've got a couple of questions about the email templates. Firstly, can an email variable be used in the subject line?
Yes.
Perfect. And then what I found really useful is to do a login token when sending emails for various things, whether it's the bills or putting on an event or something that takes them directly to their dashboard. And I know what that login token is, but I have to keep looking it up myself every time I need to use it. Is it possible to add to that variable list?
Right, I see what you're saying. Into that default variable list there.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can add it. Any other variables that the login token variable, I guess we'll call it the cheat sheet, right? The cheat sheet. Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I've noticed, and again, I don't know if it's just my site because it's a bit of an older one, but if you do use the % first name variable with a small f, it does a small case name for the person. So I always have to change that to uppercase F.
Yeah, we should add that by default to be the uppercase F in the list. That's true. Otherwise, you're going to be battling that. So uppercase for a first name and last name. So when you're copying that. Also, what would be helpful is just a quick copy button. So you don't have to do copy paste with your thing. Copy button for labels. Okay. Those are good suggestions. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yep.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Good suggestions there, Colette. Appreciate it. Okay, great. All right, David, do we have any questions on the YouTube side of things?
We do, but it looks like Matt and Rick as well are doing a pretty good job handling those.
Okay, great. All right, guys. Well, I think we've reached our time there. Thank you, guys. The next webinar will be in 2 weeks. We will post these email examples in the Facebook group as well as a replay of the webinar. So if you wanted to cover something that we went over from the tip of the week or the lab updates, we do recommend joining the Facebook group. You can go to brilliantdirectories.com/Facebook and click on that blue join button, and also subscribing to our YouTube channel, brilliantdirectories.com/YouTube. Next webinar will be in 2 weeks. We're off to a great start this March 1st, 2023. On behalf of myself, David, and the entire Brilliant Directories family, we love you guys. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great day and a brilliant week. Take care, guys. Thanks for joining us.